All right, here's the second part of the notes on surface area, and this section is going to be about cylinders, okay? And to define what a cylinder is, I kind of think of it as the cousin of a prism, but instead of everything being flat, you change uh, the sides to a circle. So, like the top and bottom are now circles. And what happens is instead of everything else being straight, it forces everything to be round. So it goes from being a box to more of a soup can shape. Okay, and because of that, it changes how we approach the problem. So this method we used on prisms is not the same method we're going to use on surface area. It's sort of the same, um, but a little bit different. So again, I'm going to model the whole method, and then I'm going to show you two more. And then you'll have to watch the third part to figure out the surface area for spheres. Okay. Um, so this time I only get to use two colors. So, but still, surface area is around the cylinder. So this would be like the label of a soup can, and then the metal parts on top and bottom when you add those areas together. That's kind of what a cylinder is. It's you can still think of a wrapping paper example, like you're going to wrap up a cylindrical can. You still need to figure out wrapping paper. So now, and I'll go ahead and say this, because it's a cylinder, we use circles, and that means pi is involved. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But so on a cylinder, you've got this top circle and bottom circle, so we have to find those areas. I'm going to kind of do those. We'll do what I did earlier. We'll do the top, and then we'll double it to get the bottom. And then there is, I'm going to try and do it this way, there's all this area all around, like around the circle or the cylinder, okay? We're going to call that the sides. Now, it's kind of not mathematically correct because anything with a side means straight. But anyway, it's fine. So the top area, that's a circle, and the bottom area is a circle. And so remember, the area for a circle is r squared pi, or pi r squared. I'm going to use it this way just so we know to leave pi at the end. So in case we don't remember, a circle area is r squared pi. So the radius is 3. So 3 squared pi, that equals 9 pi. And then because we have two of these, immediately bring that down. 9 pi times 2, that's going to be 18 pi. We'll underline that, so we'll have to use that in a minute. Now, as far as the sides, and this is, at first it's kind of weird to think about, but imagine if you could unroll this. So if you unrolled this, I'm going to draw it down here, you would have, it would look like a rectangle with the circles kind of like that. So we've already found the circles area. We got to find the rest of this. Well, if you mentally unfold it, it's a rectangle. So we know that this part is that height that they gave us, the 11. What is this part going to be? Well, imagine if you roll it back up. When you roll it back up, it's going to make a circle. That's actually the distance around the circles. So that's going to be circumference, 2r pi. So we actually multiply those two together to get the all the way around the cylinder's area. So we're going to say 2 times 3 pi, 2 times 3 times pi, times 11. So remember, we have to use the circumference of a circle here. So 2r pi. Well, anyway, we'll get that in a minute. So the first part is use the circumference and then multiply it by the height they gave you. And so we're going to multiply everything except pi. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 11 gives me 66 pi. I'll use that. Now surface area, we simply add these together. 18 pi plus 66 pi equals 84, that's a terrible 8, 84 pi feet squared. So that's the surface area. Now, we're leaving our answer in terms of pi, but if you want to know actually how big that is, just type 84 pi in the calculator. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it so you can see, get another, I lost my train of thought, another representation of the area. So when you type 84 pi in the calculator, it comes out to almost 264 square feet. That's how big around that cylinder is. Okay, how much area is around it. That seems kind of big, 264 square feet. When you think about it, that's a big cylinder. Okay, so we're going to do the same method for these two. Okay, so I'm going to not use colors anymore, so it makes it faster. So we'll do the top, or you could think of bottom, because it's usually on the bottom. So the 11 is your radius. That's going to be 11 squared pi. That is 121 pi. Automatically bring that down. That's going to be 242 pi. So that's the areas for the top and the bottom circles. Now we have to do the sides. And then we jump to the circumference formula again. Okay? So 2 times my radius of 11 pi times the height of 7. Multiply everybody except pi. So 2 times 11 times 7 ends up being 154. And then just tack your pi on at the end. Now surface area, we add those together. And that gives me 396 pi. Notice when I add them together, I don't do pi squared or anything like that. A lot of kids want to do that, and that's wrong. You would only square pi if you're actually multiplying two different pi's together. We're not doing it. You're kind of just adding the numbers in front. 242 plus 154 is 396, and then just put pi at the end. Now our units would be yards squared. There's our surface area. And again, if you want to figure out what that really looks like, 396 pi. Roughly 1,244 yards, square yards. And then you can convert that to feet if you want to. Just multiply it by 3. Oops. So it's about 3,732 square feet all around that cylinder. So again, I just want you to get here and stop. Okay, I don't want you to do all the converting to real units or anything like that. Okay, same thing here. Now notice, this time they told me all the way across my diameter. So if my diameter is 18, we simply take half of that or divide it in 2 to get my radius. Because you need radius for area. Okay. All right, we'll do our top or bottom in this case. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So we take the radius is what we're going to use here. So 9 squared pi That's 81 pi. Bring that down and double it to get the top circle and the bottom circle's area. Now we'll do the sides. So if we use our circumference, 2 times radius times pi, and then times the height of 6, multiply everybody together except the pi, 2 times 9 times 6, that is 108 pi. Now, remember, instead of doing 2 times radius, you could have done just the diameter, 18 pi. It's the same thing. It honestly doesn't matter, but I'm just going to write this one just because that's what I wrote. So. Now surface area says to add those areas up. So 162 pi plus 108 pi. That equals 270 pi. This would be meters squared, square meters. All right. So that's the surface area for cylinders. So make sure you follow the method that I've shown here, because I think it'll be easier for you than just memorizing a formula. You actually think about how to process it. So make sure you watch this one and then do your cylinder homework problems. And as always, ask for help if you need it.